I made it. Hello, witches and wizards, and I gotta say, while I was working on my Halloween Kills and Halloween End video, I came across this. Yep, Fantastic Beasts 3 has just been officially announced. Now, based on some of the reactions of Crimes of Grindelwald, some of you may have mixed feelings. It is the lowest grossing film in the Wizarding World series, and it has a 37 on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, while the film is so divisive to the point that it is the Wizarding World's Last Jedi, I am part of the group of people who really liked the film, actually. I genuinely enjoyed this movie. So I'm excited about this third movie, and while some of you may be concerned about this third film, that's why I'm here. I am here to give you information that may make you more optimistic about Fantastic Beasts 3. Now, a third entry to the Fantastic Beasts series wasn't really a surprise to the fans of the Wizarding World. I mean, it was confirmed that the Fantastic Beasts series would have 5 films, and while it is the lowest grossing film in the series, Crimes of Grindelwald did get a decent amount of money to warrant a sequel, and Crimes of Grindelwald did end on a cliffhanger. Many of us, including me, assumed that it would be released on November 20th, 2020. But that slot was filled by Dune, and around the end of January, there were reports that Fantastic Beasts 3 was delayed. Now, the reasons it was going to be delayed was, according to actor Dan Fogler, the movie is going to be gigantic. The reason we were given is that the movie is bigger than the first two combined. They needed more prep time. Now, that does make sense, because while I do like Crimes of Grindelwald, my biggest issue with the film was how there was so much going on that it limited the amount of scenes with characters, and which would in turn greatly reduce character developing scenes for some of the new characters. Now, I do think they did do a decent job with developing the new characters. I did notice that there was less time with the main characters, and while more time with the new characters, I did feel like there may have been more scenes needed to make the film a lot better. Now, I think J.K. Rowling wanted to add a lot more scenes in Crimes of Grindelwald, but because she wrote this gigantic story that could have worked for a large book, but not for a movie, I think the film did suffer in some way in that regard. Now, if this delay was true, this does mean that they did listen to some of the negative reactions, because if they wanted to delay it, then they wanted to get together and try to scale this gigantic story into one good movie so they won't get the same negative reactions as the previous film did. So then we didn't hear anything about the production of Fantastic Beasts 3 for a while, until now recently. Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling officially gave us confirmation on Fantastic Beasts 3. They will begin filming on spring of 2020, and it will release on November 12th, 2021. Which feels like ages away, especially since there are 2 more films after this. The Fantastic Beasts films have taken place in different cities, like New York and Paris. The third film will follow this theme because it will take place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The movie will also have a time jump to the 1930s because J.K. Rowling changed her Twitter header and clarified that it was Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in the 30s, and was referring it to Fantastic Beasts 3. Now, I'm happy about the change of setting, because that means we get to learn more about the Wizarding World culture in Brazil, like the beasts, the ministry, and some of the symbols and items that are very significant in that area. Speaking of J.K. Rowling, she is still writing the movie, which isn't a surprise, but she will have company because Steve Kloves will also join her in writing the film. Now, he's no stranger to the Wizarding World because he's adapted all the books into the movies by doing the screenplay for all the Harry Potter movies. This means he might use some of his experiences in adapting the book into the movie by doing the same thing here. He'll probably look at the script, keep all the important and significant parts while cutting off the unnecessary elements in the script. I mean, while this is speculation, Dan Fogler did mention the film was so big, so they'll probably want to trim the fat while keeping the significant parts. This could mean we could get more scenes with the main characters, but also having more time to develop the new characters, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. Speaking of characters, we'll see many returning characters from the previous film, like Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, Eddie Redmayne as Newt, Jude Law as Dumbledore, Ezra Miller as Credence, and other characters like Queenie, Tina, and Jacob. Now, we'll see a new character called Eulalie Hicks. Nailed it. Now, the reason I say new is because she did have a brief cameo in Crimes of Grindelwald, but she was only in there for like 2 seconds. In this movie, she's supposedly gonna have a bigger role in the third film. She is a professor at Ilvermorny School, so hopefully we get to learn more about America's wizarding school that is the equivalent to Hogwarts. Now, I am still a little concerned because the previous 2 films, we have so many characters now, but hopefully they'll be able to find a balance where we can have scenes with our main returning characters while also having scenes with our new characters and developing them as well. But I am optimistic because of some of the additions in the production team here. And the final piece of information that I know is David Yates will direct the third Fantastic Beasts film. Now, ever since Crimes of Grindelwald was released, there has been a group of people who called for a new director for the next 3 Fantastic Beasts films. I disagree because while I do understand that some fans want some new, refreshing feel to the series, I think it will hurt the consistency of the Fantastic Beasts series. Because if you've seen my Halloween video, you know that I love consistency. And it is important for a franchise to keep consistency because if the films fail to be connected very well, then it will hurt rewatching them as a big story and it will make it feel like a mess almost because of the different feel, tone, or score, or any of that stuff. So it is good that they decided to stay with the current style. And that's all the stuff I know on Fantastic Beasts 3, which is kind of surprising. I thought I had a lot more to say, but hey, there you go. Now, I am excited for this third film because, you know, I liked Crimes of Grindelwald. They're gonna take it in a new setting, which is pretty nice, and will give us some interesting new information. And hey, the change in setting, who knows what they could do there? Like, I'm excited what J.K. Rowling's gonna do there. Now, some people are concerned because, like I said, Crimes of Grindelwald didn't do that well, but they are doing something about it. Like, they added Steve Kloves to the writing process as well to probably look at J.K. Rowling's script and try to size it down to this great movie. You know, he'll trim the fat and keep everything intact that's necessary. So hopefully they do a good job because I think they are taking some necessary precautions here. And if the delay actually did happen, that means they have listened to some of our responses. So I'm not worried at all. I'm not really worried at all. Like, I'm a very optimistic person. And maybe I can be a little too over optimistic, but I think the direction they're going with right now seems to be the right course right now. I'm very positive that this film will probably be better than Crimes of Grindelwald, which will be good for everyone, in my opinion. Now, there will always be those people who are concerned with it, and I can understand that, but with the direction they're going with, I think it seems that it's on the right course right now. And I think they care about this film. Like, I still think J.K. Rowling is very passionate about this Fantastic Beasts series. And some of that you can find on her Twitter. I do think she's still passionate about the film series and the wizarding world, so I'm not concerned at all. And I do think the people working on this film does care, so I'm not worried that much at all. So hopefully you're excited of the future of the series as I am. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. This video wasn't that hard to make because there was less to say, but I'm still excited about this movie. I really can't wait. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I gotta say, mischief managed.